into Busick. Blocked by the long arm of Ken Dryden. I don't know if the Bruins are firing right into him, John, but the pad, the arm, the glove always seems to be there. Behind Roberto McKenzie, great save, Dryden.
All right, over just behind you there's a wall of hockey masks. Now, preserving you got a bite of history with these incredible masks.
Here, I'll show you the lights. It's kind of cool.
Oh, nice. Ooh. Got them all lit up. It's museum quality lighting.
Museum quality. About a dozen years ago, I stumbled upon this website where this guy was making these incredible replicas of these masks, and it looked like he'd stolen them from the Hockey Hall of Fame. They were so authentic. And his name was Don Scott from Collingwood, Ontario. You know, he made these beautiful handmade fiberglass masks, and I was just blown away by how cool they were, and his website sucked. And so I traded my services and I redesigned his website. You know, as time passed, I added a few more, so I have all 8 of them. And unfortunately, Don just got burnt out because he doesn't make them anymore. He is kind of legendary in that collector world.
I guess so. The masks look so authentic. They have nicks and puck marks, and I mean they look. You know, when I came into the room, I thought, how did you get Ken Dryden's? How did you get Terry Sawchuk's?
A brilliant save by Sawchuk.
6 goalies that represent the 8 masks, and I totally geeked out. Signed hockey cards that pair up with each goalie's mask, and so it's Ken Dryden, the 2 masks in the top middle, and Sawchuk's in the bottom 2, right below Dryden's, and then Gary Smith and Kurt Ridley, 2 Canuck goalies on the top left and right corners, and the bottom corners are Glenn Chico Resch and Bernie Perrant.
Nice.
I remember seeing some photos. Oh my God, Chico Resch has painted his entire mask. And then Bernie Perrant's totally contrasted, you know, white and the little Flyers logos. That mask actually was featured on the cover of Time magazine in the heyday of the Broad Street Bullies.
Although Perrant never got in a fight.
No. Well, he was the MVP of both of their Stanley Cup wins, and that was the era right before I became a fan, so I've always been fascinated with those teams and, you know, how they did it.
75, 76,
yeah. Right
in there.
Yeah, and they just intimidated the hell out of everybody.
They intimidated, but they had scoring, they had defense. They had this
it was a perfect mix, right?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And, you know, MVP quality goaltending. But Ken Dryden, you know, I put him in the top row. The 2 masks contrast so much. The pretzel style mask on the left was the one he wore at Cornell University. Broke into the NHL in 1971, and I always found his story fascinating because he had won the Stanley Cup and the playoff MVP, and the following season he won the Rookie of the Year. So, like, that's I don't see that ever happening again in any sport.
No, and that mask, the one you described, it sort of looks like something from the movie Alien or like a skeleton. And I remember that so well when he wore that, and it's so iconic.
It's funny because I did a painting of his rookie card. That card conjures up childhood memories. And then halfway through Dryden's career, he quit for a year to go back to law school, and he reemerges, and he's got this new mask that is a target, a bullseye. And he loved the simplicity of the design because it could be seen as easily on TV as in the last row in the arena. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you notice this, but the middle of the design is the negative shape, the shape of the Montreal Canadiens logo. It's it's kind of cool, eh?
Oh, that's right. I had not noticed.
In the midst of all that fracas, Bill, one of the Ranger players threw Bernie Perrant's face mask up into the crowd, and I doubt very much if he'll get it back.